actions. So for anybody to defend it as they didn't do this or they didn't do that, they never denied the actions of trying to supersede the board and undermine your authority. So that being said, thank you for always trying to expose everything. And now that Jenny's had her chance to show everybody her signs, I hope that since they are a disruption and it's against the meeting thing, that they are put away. Thank you.
All right. Jenny, do me a favor. Can you sit down? Supervisor Garman would like to speak. Thank you. Appreciate it. Supervisor Garman.
Thank you, Chairman Fry. I won't be supporting bringing this back. We've had 10 of our 21 staff are no longer in that office, kind of like what you were saying, Supervisor Chairman Fry. I don't think there's a point to continue to beat the dead horse, so to speak. So let's.
And Supervisor Garman, just to clarify, 10 have left in the last, I believe, 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's not 10 have left.
Well, it was 2022 when this was, I think, originally discussed.
Somewhere in there.
Right.
There's been.
But we've lost 10 out of the 21 of the staff. The majority of them are gone. If we continue to push this issue, I don't see any good coming out of this, only more hurtfulness, and we will lose more staff. Excuse me, but talk.
Supervisor Garman, give me a sec.
Right.
Hey, listen, I mean, this is a contentious topic. We get it, and especially it's on the heels of Tuesday. So let us just have our board discussion, please. Please. Thank you. Supervisor Garman.
Thank you, Chairman. I just don't see the point to bring it back and rehash this issue any longer. And I just want to say one last thing. There's not been any voters in Shasta County who have been disenfranchised. Our votes have always counted here, and they always will. And hats off to the previous ROVs, and hats off to Tom Toller. Thank you.
Supervisor Jones, would you mind if I jumped in?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, what I do, and again, this under discussion, what I do want to bring back is I want there to be a message that staff can't do this. Our county council can't do this. Now, we have a staff right now and a county council that I'm sure of that this wouldn't happen, but if we're looking 10, 20 years down the road, there has to be mass accountability. I mean, look at closed session, look at some of the items we have. This stuff isn't just popping up. This is stuff we've worked on since Supervisor Kellstrom and I were seated in 23. And a lot of it's heinous, but what we now know is what we thought only happened in Sacramento or for sure Washington, D.C. happened and does, or not as much anymore to my knowledge, but happened for a lot of years here in this building for the Board of Supervisors. So I want accountability. I'm not sure. So I'd like to ask Council Larmer what we're truly bringing back in terms of what findings. I mean, it's obvious they broke policy, and there is some. What's the word? There is county council has some. Well, what would be the word, Council Larmer? Like they represent the elections office, but in this, it's obviously stated. They said this needs to go back to the board. This needs to go back to the board. It never did, and then it was rewritten and sent in some other capacity, which was not. And to Supervisor Rickard's point, like that's why are we even up here if other electeds are going to just do what they want when stuff is supposed to have board approval? I mean, what account me? I mean, that's what I'm asking.
We don't have jurisdiction or authority over other elected officials. We do not have.
It's not. I mean,
we do not.
We just talked. County council just said it's not that we have jurisdiction, but when something comes to approval from the board to accept that money.
Okay, so I have a question for county council. So do other elected officials have discretion to bring items back before the board? They do have that discretion, don't they?
This item falls under a budgetary item, and the board holds that the budgetary strings. So an elected official has a lot of autonomy in a lot of areas, but the board controls the budget.
Well, but that's the grant funding is part of the budget.
Ultimately, grant funding is coming into the county's budget. Yes.
But didn't it come back before the board a second time, and we went ahead and approved it?
It did.
Yep.
The board approved
so
it.
The second time it came back, the board approved it.
Yes.
That's right.
Not what we said in the motion to be approved.
Chair, if I could.
Supervisor Jones.
Thank you. So let's get a little more clarity here, Supervisor Rickard. So this action took place. It started unbeknownst to any board members that I'm aware of in 2022. It came to our attention in early 2023, and the counterproposal was sent forward. I was chair during that year. I asked ultimately 3 different times, did the counterproposal get accepted? And I never got an answer. And so that whole year went by, the whole year of 2023, while I was chair, without an answer. And yet it was rewritten and accepted. And when I asked our acting CEO,
Hey, Jenny.
I am not going to listen to this anymore.
Jenny,
you're
Jenny.
gonna,
All the time.
sit down.
You go ahead and just attack staff regularly.
Hey, you
Sit down.
You need to
Sit down.
All right.
You'll have to leave.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. People didn't get enough attention as kids, so we're going to recess for 5 minutes. We're going to recess for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, before you recess, can you give an official warning to the noise?
Okay, you bet. Before we recess, will the 2 individuals please seated in front move? This is your warning before you will be removed. All right, with that, they are not moving. We are going to be at 5-minute recess.